Hello, hello. There we go. There we go. I don't know what was going on. I think something just wasn't checked. But welcome everyone. There was nobody on, so it's no big deal. But what's up, everybody? I was trying to give people some time to come in, but it turns out you couldn't even hear me. All right. So what's up? IB Catch 22. What's up? What's up, Risto? So, what I was trying to say, even though you couldn't hear me when I was trying to say it, is that I actually, what's up, Disarray 306? We are actually going to do something we don't normally do, and we're going to actually try to find out whatever this news is about the Perseus. I think they leaked the stats or something. I'm not 100% sure. I think it has PDCs. I don't know. I'm gonna try to find wherever this is. So the Perseus is upgunned. It has 2 remote turrets have increased from dual size 3 guns to dual size 4s, and in addition, it has 4-point defense cannons. So let's see what the stats are supposed to be for the Perseus. Because I don't remember. So the Perseus is supposed to have the dual size 7. It's supposed to have dual size 3s, 10 size 5 torpedo or 20 size 5 torpedoes. So 20 size 5 torpedoes, dual size 3s, and dual size 7s. I don't know. Why do I remember having way more weaponry than that? Maybe that was just like in my brain. But yeah, okay, so dual size 7s, and they're saying the size 3s are now size 4s. And they're saying it's going to have PDCs. Okay, so that's like the big part coming out of the leak. I don't know if that's true. I don't think anybody is providing links to sources. What's up, Matthew Ward? What's up, Clearly? What's up, Blue 4? Yeah, I think that's one of those trust me bro sources. Like, but this is normal things reason I don't talk about this stuff is because of the lack of sources that generally are around. But every once in a while, people get it right. So, you know, to me, I welcome any upgunning of any ship that's above $500, or any ship above. Actually, I'd say any ship above $300. But yeah, I mean, the Perseus has to fit the role of gunboat better than any other ship, because to me it's the largest gunboat before you get to like a capital gunboat. So it really, like, it having PDCs, even though it's technically not a capital, right? It's a large ship, right? It's not a cap ship. So what's up, Citizen Ninja? So that ship having, you know, some size 4s. I mean, the size 7s are why you're here, right? But the size 4s are, okay, those can shoot other things out of the sky. I mean, size 3s could do that. I mean, it takes more shots, right? I would have been more surprised if it was like quad, if the remote turret went from, you know, like two size 3s to like 4 size 3s, or 4 size 4s, or whatever, right? But I don't know. This leak doesn't really. It doesn't. The PDC thing is cool. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, a ship like this, you know. Or does it have 4 already? Am I? Okay, it does have 4. Okay, so it has 4 size 7s and 4 size 3s, and there. So this would be now it has 4 size 4s and 4 size 7s. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense because I'm like, wait a minute, I feel like it had more guns than that. Okay, yes, 4 size 4s and 4 size 7s. So I guess that is a bigger deal because if it has size 4s and they're 2 separate turrets that are getting upgunned to size 4s, that is kind of a big deal. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's 4 turrets, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, 2 on the side, right? But I don't know. It's been a long time since I looked at this ship. No, it only has that 1 size 7 cannon. Is it 1 per mount though? No, it's 2 per mount, 2 total mounts, and they're size 7s. That's what I'm going with. Yeah, the PDCs seem like the biggest part of this news. The size 4s are cool, but the PDCs making it, you know, explosion proof from missiles is a bigger deal. But just like you're saying, Citizen Ninja, like I probably would have been more surprised if it didn't have PDCs. I think the reason people are surprised is because the only like dedicated thing that they've stated about PDCs is that capital ships will get them. But we already have seen that it doesn't have to be a capital ship to get them because the Connie Phoenix has PDCs. What's up, Ubo? What's up, Tin? That is true, Tin. It moves the engagement range out. It definitely moves the engagement range out. Has everybody updated? What's up, Darsh? Oh, does the 600 have PDCs? I don't even remember. It's been a while since I flew my 600. Yeah, and the 600 is definitely not a capital. So if it does, then yeah. But like, yeah, we know for sure that the Connie Phoenix does, and the Connie Phoenix has PDC. So it's never been like a thing that only people or that only capital ships get. We'll see if I also got better internet. So we'll see if my stream is better today. This is the first time on fiber optic internet, so we'll see if the stream is better. If I don't know how it's supposed to improve when your internet gets better, but am I excited for the Perseus? Of course, absolutely, absolutely. I am 100% excited for the Perseus. I think the Perseus is going to be the first ship that makes people who are in their Polaris scared. Like, besides running up against another Polaris or an Idris, of course, I think that's going to be the first ship that's like, you might be in a Polaris and I might be in a Perseus. And I might catch you off guard and hit you with those size 7s and do some real damage. Or you might catch me off guard and hit me with those size 10 torpedoes. Or maybe not because I have PDCs now. So that I did a Perseus versus Polaris video, and because one of the big things where I was like, oh, the Polaris would blow this ship out of the water is because of the fact that it had those size 10 torpedoes, and there was not really anything that the Perseus could do to stop it. But now I'm looking at it like, with PDCs, it might be a tough fight. It might be a tougher fight because the Perseus relies on those size 7 guns, which PDCs aren't going to do anything to help you with size 7 guns. And yeah, I just think I think it's in a slightly better position now with those. Like I would love to see two Perseus go against two Polaris. I think that would be a very interesting fight. Let's see. What's up, BNC? What's your thoughts on a Perseus versus an Idris for doing large PvP events? What would be more fun? More fun is probably, it depends on how many people you have, but if we're talking a fully crewed Perseus versus a fully crewed Idris, the Idris is going to be more fun. Because a fully crewed Idris, you're going to have people flying out on ships to fight. And like, you could swap out roles. Like, if maybe I'm flying the Idris and then I'm like, hey, I'm bored of flying. Does anybody else want to fly? They can hop in this seat. I can go hop on the big the big turret, because you get the big gun when you're in the pilot seat. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe, I want to go hop in an F8 and fly around and shoot around for a little bit. And then I want to come back and switch back out with a gunner or whatever. Like, you just have so many roles you can fill in an Idris, whereas the Perseus, you don't really have that. Now, don't get me wrong, you could put some, like, in the cargo bay or in that bay where you would put your vehicle or something, you could put some snubs in there and kind of have that same kind of deal. But it's just not the same when you have that, like, hallway tunnel hangar that you have in the Idris, and you can just be like, go, go, go. I think that's a little bit different. Your wallet's arguing with you. I would have assumed you already had one. Blue 4. How is my fight for Pyro going? It's not. It's been bugged. When I hop in the game, I just check to see if there's a specific bug, and if I get that bug, I just hop right back out. I had to catch up on my ship review, so I haven't been making any intense efforts to play. But now I'm caught up, so now I should be able to get in and play. I am releasing my next Roast My Fleet video right after this, right after I finish streaming. That video should come out at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you go watch that. I did a review on the F7C the F7CM Super Hornet, and I did a review finally on the Misfortune. That one took me a while because I couldn't get in the game to actually like use the ship. So yeah. The way that I test is I try not to get too heavy into my testing because I know that that's not what most people are going to do. I feel like when you do testing, it should be like, what is the experience like in the first time I play and then the second time I log in to play, right? And like, that's really what the gist of it is, because I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, this ship gets fun, but you have to fly it for 300 hours for it to be fun, right? And then I think when I do like my, what should you buy or buyer's guide type of videos, that's when I like give the updated advice. Like, okay, now I've been flying it for 50 hours or 100 hours or whatever, and now I can say, it's not that great, or it's actually really cool and it gets better the longer you fly it. So my testing isn't intense. It's more like, I just wanna try the ship out and give my general opinion. Yeah, because I would need a lot more of these things to be final to really do even more intensive, I guess, testing. And I do think there's a lot of folks out there that actually do some pretty good testing. Which faction am I selecting? Oh my goodness. What are the factions again? There's Citizens for Prosperity, Headhunters, and what's the other one? There's Citizens for Prosperity, Headhunters, and I'm not. What's up, Paglamia? Man, I can't think of the other one. But I think it's the other one. The one that I picked is the one that I can't name. Frontier Fighters. Yeah, I think that's the one I picked. Because the Headhunters seem like they're like, we like Pyro the way it is, and we'll fight to keep it that way. And then Citizens for Prosperity, I feel like they're acting like the good guys, and anytime I've been around the people who act like they're the good guys, they never actually are. And so they were the first one that was off the list. And then it was so with the other two being left, I was like, well, I mean, one of you is like trying too hard to be the bad guy, and Frontier Fighters just seem like they're like, we kind of like the way stuff is, but we think some stuff could change. And I was like, that seems a little bit more reasonable. So that's the one I would go with. I did not see the new roadmap roundup. What a great thing to do on a stream is look at the roadmap roundup. So let's go do that. Hold on, let me get my screens correct. How do I do this? Open one of these, open one of these. If you're just joining, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are considering being a member, just remember our members have a greater chance at winning all of our giveaways. We're getting close to the end of the month, so we will be giving away whatever I said we're going to give away, which I believe is like, what did I say? I think it was an Intrepid and a C8R. Or no, one was a vehicle, I think. Was it a ballista? I think a ballista. I think a ballista and a C8R or something like that. Whatever we're giving away. But in order to qualify, you got to leave some comments. So make sure if you're one of the lurkers, you leave 2 comments a few minutes apart so that you qualify for that stuff. But let's look at, what is it? It should be the roadmap roundup. Oh wait, that's not where it is. It's gonna be what, here or here. All right, roadmap roundup. All right, let me share my screen with you guys. All right. And let's zoom in a little bit. Bam. Roadmap roundup. All right, let's take a look. A new 4.1 column has been added. Okay. All right, redacted mission giver. A new mission giver enters the verse, bringing fresh opportunities. Then they're going to be at a location. Redacted sandbox activity. A new open-ended activity blending on-foot exploration with aerial support, creating sandbox gameplay opportunities for daring teams, as long as the loot is good. Armor set, okay. Rugged and stylish, that's not really giving us any information. Space combat missions, a new set of ship combat missions featuring improved scenario design. So by the way, this is definitely a different way of doing the roadmap roundup. So yeah, they're definitely doing the content focus here. The Volt AR, okay, that's cool. We're finally getting the Volt AR. The Parallax and the Quartz. We're getting the Volt SMG, the Volt AR, Parallax, and the Quartz. Hathor Mining Station, a large-scale mining laser facility operated by the Hathor Group. Hathor Ground Alignment Stations. What else? Control surfaces are getting added. This is all stuff getting added to 1.0. So this stuff is 4.1, I'm assuming, or 4.1 point something. So now we got control surfaces, improving atmospheric flight dynamics with functional control surfaces. Quantum boost. A short burst travel mode designed for quick repositioning and high-speed engagements between distant points. This is actually really cool. Because sometimes you're far enough away to where you can't reach something with quantum or with just flying towards it, but you're still too close for a quantum, and I think that's what quantum boost is meant to fill. Item misfire and wear. Okay, that's cool. Um, but I think we need repair before we get this, right? Like, I want to be able to like go back to my location wherever I'm located and be able to put my weapon down and fix it. So like even if it's wearing, I should still be able to fix it or buy new parts for it. So I hope we get that at the same time. Fire hazard is coming. It got pushed to 1.0. Wow, I thought that was going to be closer. Charge and drain. Okay. That's for puzzle solving and stuff like that. Life support. Okay, oxygen is going to be a thing. Engineering gameplay. We already knew about that one. Solar flares. Vehicle radar and scanning rework. Okay, that's good. We need that because right now it's just not useful. FPS radar and scanning. That is one of the biggest things I'm waiting for. Being able to like see what's in a room or in the next door over, like Arkham style. Hangar upgrades. Yes, we need that. Right now, hangars are just put a bunch of stuff in there and lay it out, and that's it. You can't really hang up stuff, or it's just not very functional. Weapon overheating will be good. That'll actually add some depth to the FPS combat, like forcing people, to actually pay attention to that. Radiation, that'll be cool too. Making people actually have to care about what they, what they wear when they're going to these places. Location repair. All right, and then the progress tracker. Okay, so is this everything? Yep, this is everything they just talked about. Yeah, that's everything. I kind of like this a little bit better, except I know there's going to be some people who complain because it's not as detailed as before, where it's like, oh, this team worked on this, and this team worked on this, and this team worked on this. So, yeah, we'll see. Where did I get this from? Here, let's go to the dev tracker. This one they're just talking about patch notes. Yeah. Here, let's go to the comm links. So we get the roadmap roundup, but we're also supposed to get the roadmap update. So this was the roundup, and maybe the update is the one that has all the more specific details. We are getting an Inside Star Citizen tomorrow, so that's good. And then the jump point issue. Maybe I'll start making videos about the jump points, but I feel like most people don't read them. But I actually do read them, so maybe it'll be cool to just kind of go over that. But what do you guys think of everything that they just stated, or we just went over and looked at? Joining headhunters might unlock Kopi and Puppy rescue missions. FPS scanning will be cool, yeah. Let's see. Love the Frontier Fighters camo paint. Frontier Fighters want to kill everyone in Pyro and start over, I thought. Is that what they want? Is that what the Frontier Fighters want? What's up, Mike G? What's up, Yeti? What's up, Skubek? What's up, Mulan? Oh, we got a lot of people watching today. Pretty cool. What's up, Aussie Vikings? Or the Aussie Viking, my bad. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm at a stage in my Star Citizen life where I'm kind of like I don't get extremely excited for certain things, for most things. I just get kind of excited for most things, but I don't really get excited until it's being delivered to me, rather than like just being talked about. And then the things I am super excited about often end up being a little disappointing. Like the Heartseeker thing, I was like, oh, I'm so excited to get a Heartseeker. And then they like switched up the way they did it. And I was like, don't really need this. I was so excited. If you guys watched my live before, I was so excited to get a Heartseeker. And then it became like oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I did a review. I think the Heartseeker is great, but it's not great if you have an F7A and you can just put the Heartseeker guns on the F7A. It's like, then it becomes a little mid. So that's why I'm like, So you gotta, I think the longer you follow Star Citizen, the more you're like, okay, let me, if I'm up here, let me bring it down here a little bit and just wait until they deliver it. And I think most people are in that category. Have I gone through a jump gate yet? No! I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I keep forgetting to do it. But I do need to do that, and I need to record it. I don't know if I'll like post it or anything, but I just want to record it to have that video of the first time I ever went through a jump gate. It'd be nice if they added back the stuff they took away from Stanton. 890 jump missions are finally coming back in 4.0.2. 90% of Hurston contracts are turned off. Oh, I did not know that. Yeah, the way the Heartseeker was marketed was a little anticlimactic if you were trying to scratch that collector's itch. Yeah. I mean, I still like what they did. It's just, I think I was just expecting this amazing ship. And it was just like, oh, the stats are exactly the same in this as if you put that same upgrade kit on an F7A. And I get it, not everybody was able to get an F7A. So like I get them like saying, here you go. This is the best version of this you can get outside of an F7A. But yeah, I was like, I still think they could have did a little bit more with it to make it a little bit more worth the price at $240. Because now I'm stuck with it. I have it still, but it's going to end up being something else. Right now, I think Paladin is at the top of the list for what it'll end up being. Because I don't have a dedicated gunship at that size that can, I guess, be operated with a small amount of people. So that's what's on the list. But right now, I'm just going to keep it. What's up, Northern Tech Hermit? Right now I'm going to keep it, and we'll see if it needs to become something later. Because I have a feeling that another ship will come out at some point that I can easily just upgrade it to. Right now, it's just going to act as like a backup to my F7A. Like, oh, my F7A was destroyed, so let me like hop into this. But the thing is, I only have one Heartseeker upgrade. So like I would have that Heartseeker upgrade in my F7A. And when my Heartseeker dropped, I would probably go hop in this. But yeah, it's still a little wishy-washy on that. That's just the best I could think of so far. Do you think the Perseus is being overhyped and overpriced for what it's going to be? I do not. I think the Perseus is the best designed ship in all of Star Citizen as far as the looks. And I also think the Perseus is exactly as hyped as it should be. It's going to be the reason I think people love the Perseus is because the Perseus doesn't require a massive amount of people to operate, but it also provides an insane amount of firepower without needing a massive amount of people. So I think that's why people like it. It kind of straddles that line of like a ship that is a capital ship and and is going to cost so much money, and a ship that is like a large ship that, even though it has these amazing guns, it doesn't require you to bring an entire army with you, but still has, the ability to do really well in a fight. So I think the Perseus is hyped as much as it should be. Now, will people complain about it? Absolutely. Uh, absolutely. I still think that they should reconsider making it able to crash into ships, because we don't have that for like a non-alien ship. And it literally, like you're saying, Tin Path, like, it looks like a gigantic dagger. So why not just make it to where, as long as you hit ships straight on, like, that armor is piercing, or it does damage and takes less damage. What's your thoughts on a Perseus with a paladin escort up against an Idris? Well, a paladin only has the quad size 5, so that's not going to help you much against the Idris. So a Perseus and a paladin, that's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. You need something that can shoot some massive missiles at that thing. It's not going to get it done. If you had 2 paladins and 2 Perseus, but no. I think in that scenario, I'd rather have a Perseus and a Retaliator. Because Retaliator is at least going to be able to drop some hard-hitting bombs on it, but those PDCs are super powerful, so good luck. Up into the BMM. I already have a BMM. What's up, Douglas Davis, Rex, The Real Drama, Marlax, Full Nelson, what's up? What's up? Did I say what's up, Douglas? Douglas Davis, what's up? Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why to pick the Perseus over the Polaris. I wouldn't pick the Perseus over the Polaris. I think it should be an and conversation. Should I have both? If you're choosing between them, I think the Polaris is the better buy because of its size and its versatility. But the Perseus is going to be much cheaper to operate, and it's going to require less crew, and it will, I don't know, those size 7s, we don't know what they're going to do yet. But I have a feeling they're going to do some decent damage. It's the age-old conversation of, should I go with something that's more missile heavy or should I go with something that's more gun heavy? And with missiles not working correctly and with PDCs being a little overpowered, guns seem like the better option right now. Bad part about the Perseus is bespoke ballistics and torpedoes. I mean, they're only what, size 5 torpedoes, right? I mean, all missiles are going to be expensive. So regardless of what you get, anything that can fight at that level is going to be expensive if it has torpedoes. Size 7, those bullets though, those bullets will be very expensive. So I agree. And the size 3 PDCs are ballistics. We got to see. We got to wait and see on that one. But, I mean, even if they are, size 3 ballistics aren't going to be that expensive, I don't think. Hey, what's up, San Chimera? We need a Dorito torpedo. You can't unsee it. You want your Galaxy? Oh, you're going to be waiting a long time, Aussie Viking. I suspect most players might get more frequent use from the Perseus than the Polaris, given running costs and rolls. Polaris might be overkill more often than the Perseus. I agree. I think the Polaris, you'll see more Perseus out more often than you will see Polaris, because I think Polaris really doesn't fit its role well until it's fully crewed. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people can run it solo. I know people have run it with 2 people. You can still do some damage with it. I'm not saying you can't. But I think it doesn't really shine until it's fully crewed and it's firing on all cylinders. Especially with an extra person. I'm talking about, well, technically 2 extra people, where you have one person that's your engineer, and then another person that's actively ready to get inside of your snub ship or whatever ship you got in that hangar and fly out and do damage. Yeah, if you're running it like that, the Polaris is, yeah, it's something to be seen. But again, watching and being inside of a Polaris that goes up against an Idris, you start to really feel the toughness of the Idris. And I hope they balance that a little better, because it kind of felt like a Polaris is now a $975 ship. And I think obviously you're paying more for an Idris, but it felt more like a Polaris going up against an Idris felt like it was being shooed away. Like it felt more like a wasp trying to sting a human, right? Like, the wasp can do some damage and it's gonna hurt and maybe even scare them, but like, it's not really like, unless you're allergic, it's not really like a big fight. It's just like, at some point I'm gonna smash this wasp or whatever, right? But that's what it feels like, and I don't think it should feel like that. I think it should feel more like a human versus a I don't know. I don't want to say something like ridiculous, but I'm going to say something ridiculous. Like a human versus a honey badger, right? Like, a human might win that fight. I mean, obviously if a human has a gun, right? But like, it's questionable. You don't know. You don't know. A honey badger can definitely take out a human. And that's not how it feels right now. It feels more like the wasp instead of the honey badger. And welcome to my wild analogies with Billionaire Ninjas. When will the C2 go back on sale? C2 is very often, Essential Asa asked that question. The C2 is very often on sale, so don't worry about it. It'll probably be on sale, probably at the Stella Fortuna sale next month. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on sale. Or it'll probably go on sale for the release of 4.02. The C2 goes on sale a lot, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. I'll lose my Polaris loaner when the Perseus comes out. Yeah, but you'll have a Perseus though, so not too bad, not too shabby. Ballistic shells price will be interesting to see. Historically, shells are a lot cheaper to mass produce than bombs and missiles. We'll see, because I've also been wondering, like, okay, we have like laser weapons, right? But I would feel like the maintenance would be the cost that you have to pay on the laser weapons. Like, at some point, some part is gonna need to be changed out with your laser weapon or something. Obviously, they can keep going, but I feel like the maintenance on a laser weapon would be crazier than the maintenance on a ballistic weapon. So yeah, the ballistic shells will be important, or ballistic shells will be expensive. But I also think at some point the laser weapons are, maybe they're not as expensive to like use on a day-to-day basis, but maybe their maintenance might end up being more expensive than the ballistic weapons. So I don't think it'll balance out. I still think ballistics will be a little bit more expensive to run, but I could imagine them kind of balancing it out that way. Yeah, I would definitely get a BMM instead of a C2. That's not even close to a question. Yes, the Polaris and Perseus are designed. To me, I think the Polaris was more designed to work with a Hammerhead, but I just don't think the Hammerhead is up to snuff as much as it should be. I think the Hammerhead should be. I think the Hammerhead should have I think the Hammerhead, I love that it has the quad size 5s, but I also think it should have 2 size 6s on the front. And I think that would make more sense, like, because it's the Hammerhead, but it doesn't actually do anything with the head portion. And that's weird to me. So I feel like having 2 size 6s on the front of that thing would have made it make more sense to me. Or being much more tough than it is. I think it should be one of the toughest ships in the game. So I don't know. We'll see where that thing ends up. It does need a lot of work, so we'll see if it ends up getting a rework or if they just, add a few things to it. Harold Spark, what's up? But yeah, I think as it sits now, I would rather run the Polaris and the Perseus together than the Polaris and the Hammerhead. But I do think when they developed both the Polaris and the Hammerhead, those were meant to be the ones that ran together. Durability on ship guns? No, I mean durability as far as armor. But, we still have to wait for armor to really get into the game. So I really wish that we could just have armor because I feel like there's so many questions related to armor that we can't answer yet. And I'm just like, oh, I just want it so that we can just start to really figure out what we're going to do. What number of attacking honey badgers do you think you could take on? 1. You saying 4 is absolutely ridiculous. Have you ever seen a honey badger? I've seen a honey badger exactly one time, and that's exactly the exact amount of times that I want to see a honey badger. And that thing wasn't even violent. It was just, you could tell the speed at which it moved and the ferocity of it was just right underneath the surface. And I was like, no. You might want to watch some more videos on honey badgers because I don't think 4 is the right number there. But I like your confidence. Is that what it is? 4 size 4s on the Hammerhead? Hold on. I have literally, I got in the Hammerhead 9 months ago, and I have not gotten in the Hammerhead since. And I only did it so that I could review the ship. Is that what it is? Quad size 4s? Why did I think it was quad size 5s? Oh, yep, that's right. It's quad size 4s. My bad. That's even worse. That's even worse. That is so much worse, dude. Why does the Hammerhead not have at least quad size 5s? And even if it had quad size 5s, that probably wouldn't be enough for me. But I think it should have quad size 5s. I mean, it's just, how much is the Hammerhead? Isn't it $625 or something like that? How much is the Hammerhead? This is ridiculous. All right, the Hammerhead should have size 5s. Well, it is meant to shoot fighters out of the sky. It is meant to shoot fighters. Size 5s are more like not really meant for that, but so I get that, but maybe it should have like size 4s and size 5s. I don't know. That feels a little weird to me though. Yeah, the Hammerhead is $725. No thanks, people. No thanks, folks. But it has 6 of them, right? It has 6. I think it has 6 of them. 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and then 4 on the sides. So 6 quad size 4s. I think the one on the top should be a size 6. The one on the bottom should be a size 6. And the 2 in the front should be size 5s. And then the 2 in the back should be size 4s. That would probably make me more of a believer in the Hammerhead. Hold on, let me update my thing real quick. That's wild. I don't know why I thought it had size 5s. You said ERTs are really hard with an M2 or a Star Lancer. They probably should be with the Star Lancer. The Star Lancer is not really a fighting ship. But the M2 is a little bit more surprising. I don't know if I would do I don't know if I would use the M2 for ERTs either, though. I would probably try to get an A2. I'd probably buy an A2 in game and get one. What's up, Cody? You're welcome for the reviews. You have a C1. You have a SRV. You have a Galaxy, a Perseus, a BMM, a Saber, an Atlas, and a Astra. That sounds like a decent fleet to me. I probably would. I don't know if I would have a Saber as my fighter, though. I would probably have I mean, unless you like specifically like the Saber for like the aesthetics or something, I probably would pick a different fighter. But that's a solid fleet, though. He said we're not talking about mountain lions. I kick real good. I kick really well too. I was in Taekwondo. I was in the military. I was in combatives. Well, I was only level 1, but still, I feel like I'm pretty good in the fight. I think out of all the fights I've been in my life, I've lost 3, but 2 of those I got jumped. So one of them I lost, and it was very clear that I lost. But I feel like I'm like 15-3 in fights. And like I said, 2 of those I got jumped. So I feel like I'm really like 15-1. But like, I feel like I can fight. And I still feel like even if I had a handgun, I don't want any parts of a honey badger. So your guys' confidence is next level, and I love it. Red Samurai said, I just got here. Can you start over? All right, let's do it. No. That's why we record these, Red. That's why we record them, so you can go back and watch them to your heart's content. You would rather have the quad size 4s than quad size 5s because, the rounds are slower. I think that's why I kind of edited it at the end. I think the quad size 4s make sense, but I think you need more diverse firepower in a $725 ship. So like 2 of those should be size 4s, 2 should be size 5s, and then 2 should be size 6s. Or you could even do 2 size 4s and 3 size 5s, as in like the ones in the front and then the ones on the bottom. The one on the bottom is a size 5, and then just have the one at the top be the size 6. Or they could even be size 5s on the top and bottom, and then size 4s on all the sides. So I feel like the size 5s kind of... I feel like I get why the size 4s, because it is meant to shoot fighters, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like for $725, I still want a little bit more. $725? The Hammerhead, I do see people flying the Hammerhead, but why is it that people, as soon as the Polaris came out, like you rarely ever see anybody in a Hammerhead? Because of its use case. It needs a little bit more of an expanded use case if it's going to cost $725. Because right now, the cost that it has now, I would charge $625 for that. I wouldn't charge $725 for what the Hammerhead can currently do. What's up, Easy the True? What's up, Beneficus? What's up, Ian Martin? Yeah, size 5. Yeah, you're saying it right here. Size 5's on the top and bottom, size 4's on the sides. What are the odds the Perseus gets a med bed? I would say pretty low. Pretty low. I think I think the reason, I would be more, well, the A2 I think is more useful though, because you got, what people forget is, even though it's mainly a bombing ship, it has what, like four? It has like four turrets, right? And it beats the Hammerhead in a fight. If you get a fully crewed Hammerhead and a fully crewed A2, and you have a decent pilot in both, the A2 is gonna win. And so the A2, I wouldn't sleep on the A2 because the A2 has those size 5s, and they're pilot controlled. And it has, I think, at least, what is it? Is it 2 or 3 of the remote turrets are size 5s as well? The A2 is what the Hammerhead should have been. And they're all remote turrets, so you're not like, if your turret gets destroyed, you're not losing a player. I don't know. I feel like the A2, I'd rather have an A2. In fact, I would tell people, hey, if you want a ship that's gonna be good at shooting down fighters with a full crew, go get an A2. You're not gonna get the missiles, but I don't know. I think I'd rather have that. Yeah, I think the missiles are the only thing that you're missing. You know, being able to shoot a metric ton of missiles at these fighters is a big deal. But yeah, if you're fighting fighters, yeah, I get it. I get it. The game is changing so much. I'm just collecting CCUs now. Don't want to lock into anything ever since I got a Galaxy for my base builder. I get that. Yeah, the Saber is a placeholder. I have a new Hornet in buyback as well as the F8C. Just waiting on my buyback token. Okay. I have a Badger who made a home on my land. Now it isn't a honey badger, but they're still. Oh yeah, doesn't have to be a honey badger. Badgers themselves, yeah, they're angry and they stink. You said put dog poop down there. I tried that with a raccoon and it didn't even work. So I don't know if that'll work for a badger. Oh man. What year do I think the Erastra will come out? I think it'll come out next year. 2026. I think in CitizenCon 2024 we'll see something about the Erastra, or 2025, CitizenCon 2025. It'll be one of those ships in the silhouettes. Well, because now they're doing the silhouette thing as a 12 to 18 month thing. So I will say it'll come out within 18 months of CitizenCon 2025. That's my true guess. 6 size 4s? Whoa. That would be crazy. 6 size 4s? I would like that. If all of the turrets were 6 size 4s, yeah, that's $725 worth of ship right there. I like that, Matthew Ward. That's probably the best version. Yeah. 6 size 4s is crazy though. But that's $725 for a ship is crazy. So that matches the price. Out of the 3 losses, how many did I get knocked out? I never lost consciousness, but I lost the will to fight. So 3 out of the 3 are where I feel like I lost the will to fight. I was like, this is gonna happen. It's over. Hammerhead could reload missiles internally. It would be an insane missile boat with many guns. Its cargo area is fairly useless. Yeah, I agree. What's up, Rex? The Saber makes a great hit and run fighter if you equip it with 2 size 4 missiles. Yeah. That's part of why I like the Saber Saber Firebird. I understand that missiles need a rework, But I think once they get that rework, the Saber Firebird is going to be legit. That was the one if I if I knew what I knew now, or knew then what I know now, I probably would just go back and get a Saber Firebird. It's more useful right now to me than an F7 Hornet, or I think it will be more useful than the Super Hornet for me in my fleet, not for everybody. But now I have to get a ship that's like more than $240 to replace it. And there's not a whole lot of like two-person fighters that are above that. Maybe I'll get a glaive or something. I don't know. I don't know. What is the glaive? Is the glaive the $350 one or the scythe? The scythe is the one that's extremely difficult to get, I know, but like I think the glaive's the $350 one. And I don't have an alien fighter, but then again, that's only a one-person fighter though, the glaive. So I don't know. We'll see. Don't fight people. Fighting's bad, okay? Yeah, I think every single fight that I got in, with the exception of one, was somebody getting upset with me because of something their girl did. Like, I was at a bar and then some girl came up and just like had a conversation with me, not even hitting on me or anything, but had a conversation, and then their boyfriend wanted to fight. Or I walked this group of girls home and from school, and like their boyfriend saw that I was hanging around a bunch of girls and their girl was in that group and assumed that I was her secret boyfriend or something. Like it felt like all of my fights were over a girl or because a girl was watching. Like there was a few times where a guy was like trying to be really tough because girls were watching, and like he wanted to fight me to prove he was tough in front of girls. Like it was so stupid. And one of the times where I got jumped was for absolutely no reason. It was just like these guys saw I was wearing a certain color and decided they wanted to fight me. And the other time I got jumped was because I was walking a girl home from school and her brother had told me, do not date my sister because she's too young, right? Y'all are too young. We both were the same age. We both were 15, so we weren't too young, but like he made that the thing. Like, don't date my sister. It's cool y'all are friends, but I don't want you guys dating or kissing or anything. But she liked me. I knew she liked me, but I just kept telling her no. And then in front of her boyfriend, she decides to give me the first kiss that she ever gave me. And then her boyfriend called his buddies and they beat the crap out of me because she kissed me. And of course, he refused to acknowledge that she kissed me. So, yeah. And then the other fight I lost was, oh, I forget what that was. Oh, I was in like the 6th grade, and it was, technically I got jumped, but they were 4th graders. So like, I don't really count that as getting jumped. I was like, it was pretty fair. It was like 3 4th graders versus a 6th grader. So I feel like, and then I just lost. What else we got? Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for the Arastra. I think I'm more hyped for the Orion, but the Arastra is going to be the first time where I really am like trying to get people together, like let's go mining. The Mole doesn't quite do it for me. Scorpius just for looks? I get it. Later, Douglas. Yeah, the Scorpius, I think that probably would have been my other pick, but I have a feeling something else will come out. Right now, the Paladin is the obvious choice. Well, not obvious. I could also go to a Guardian QI, but the Guardian QI with the size 5s, I don't think it's not gonna give me what I want right now. I would prefer something that's at least 2 people. I was gonna do the Zeus MR. I was considering just melting the whole thing and then doing like the Zeus MR, but Nah, I think I'd rather just go get the more expensive ship. He was wearing pink. Get him. I like that. Yes, running away from fights is probably the best thing to do, because the problem now is like when you're under the age of 18, it's like whatever, you're probably not going to go to jail for it or anything, but you can accidentally kill a person. So like, yeah, it's not worth going to jail for or anything like that. You're better off just getting away. Yeah, whatever. Somebody will call you a coward or whatever, but you'll live to fight another day, and so will they, and you will not be in jail. So I think that's a win, and a win is a win. Time for the age-old question. Liberator? You know what? I could go to a Liberator, but that is a $300 and something difference. I'm at $240. Well, I mean, I CCU to it, so it's less than that. But like $240 to $575. Man, that's $335. I can't go all the way to the Liberator. Argo mega cargo ship. I like that. All right, folks, we have got to end this stream. I'm already over an hour, but let's see if we can find somebody to jump to. Let's see if we can raid somebody. Who are we gonna raid? Let's raid in Limbo. Let's raid in Limbo. So folks, I am releasing a video in about 10 minutes. It will be my my next what is it? It's my next roast my fleet. So go check out my roast my fleet video. That's coming out in about 10 minutes on the YouTube channel. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So go check that out. What's up, Panzer? It's all good. What's up, Samortis? Mr. Andir, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna jump over, but yeah, go check out my two recent reviews. I reviewed the Misfortune. I reviewed the F7C-M Super Hornet. And I am doing the roast my fleet number 2, which it's going to be different this time. So make sure you check that one out. I think I did better than I did with the first one. What's up, Kayla Joan? We're heading out. We're raiding, but I appreciate you coming through. All right, see you guys later. Doom, doom, let's raid, let's raid. Boom, boom, let's raid, let's raid. Boom, boom.